Curious of some tips and tricks on how to take care of your hair and why expression is so important? We can change clothes, but hair is a big part of ourselves. Most people don't know what they want, so the stylist must be an artist to guide you to the best version of yourself. In this episode, we explore why having a hair consultation is so important, why hair makes such a difference when expressing yourself and loving yourself. I have a lovely conversation with celebrity hairstylist Asbéd, and I cannot wait for you to hear all his insight and experience. Welcome to Magical Mindset with Macarena Luz Bianchi, where we explore the magic of mindset, gratitude, and purposeful living. I'm your host, Macarena, and I'm thrilled to have you join me on this journey of wonder, wellness, and wisdom. You can find the episode show notes, your free magical mindset blueprint, and more at express.me/podcast. And here's the show. Welcome to the Magical Mindset podcast. I'm really excited for today's guest, Asbéd Kehyeian.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this session. I'm so happy here and so excited too. My name is Asbéd Kehyeian. I know it's a difficult name. Originally, I'm Armenian. I just moved to Miami almost 2 months and a half from Barcelona. It's a new life here and yeah, I'm happy. I'm doing good. I have big expectations from Miami. So here we go.
That's awesome. So one of the things I'm really excited to speak with you about, Asbéd, is how hair can allow us to express ourselves magically. So that's really important to me, my listeners, and my clients, of course. I know how we present ourselves is really important. We've talked about this, and with all my clients, it comes up a lot, how to set yourself up for success. And self-expression is really important. So feeling fabulous really helps. Life is difficult, but when you feel amazing, wow. So you help people transform, you do consultations. You were the one who knew that Shakira needed to adjust her color. So can you tell us a little bit more?
Basically, the hair is everything, I think, to look good on you. Maybe you can change your makeup, maybe you can change your style, wear clothes, but the hair is basically 85% in your image. With your haircut or hair color, you can see yourself better and different. You can feel more secure. My job is asesoramiento de imagen, means image consulting, which I study that. Besides study, also I can see, I can advise you, I can imagine you the other look. So that's what I do with my clients or a new client or a new person when they ask me, what should I do? I have that eyes that I can see you in different looks. That's why that's my work.
Is it true you're a good manifester?
Actually, yes, I'm a very good manifester and always I achieve my goals thanks to the manifestations. And one of them, how I started to work with Shakira. Once she did the Super Bowl, I was watching, like I used to be very fan of her. And that moment I was like, oh my God, I wish I would do her hair one day, because I would do something different in my imaginations. And then that night we were with friends and we were watching little tipsy friend and watching Super Bowl, enjoying, singing old songs. Jennifer Lopez. But I was concentrating on her and checking exactly what she needs, what could be, which colors. That's my opinions. And then that night was a full moon. So I went out at the balcony. I remember perfectly Barcelona. And I look at the moon. I was like, I break my other manifestation. I'm doing my own ritual. It was so funny. And basically I manifested. I said, I want to do Shakira's hair one day. I want to do her hair. Like I was asking from deepest my heart. I don't know who was there, angels, another souls, God, I have no idea. I was asking. And always when I manifest, even if it might be like 100 Fahrenheit, always I feel cold wind on my face. So I believe that's a sign if it's a yes. That's my own interpretation. Or by luck, I find a coin. So that's how I manifested. And 2 months later, maybe, or even less, she called me. That moment was, oh my God, I win the lottery of my life. Yeah, it was very nice. Actually, she called me from the manager and I was like, wow, the manager of Shakira is texting me. And then we had a call, and then how I met her, and I started to be like, hey, maybe 2021, and now 2024. Still, it's going on. Thank God.
So I'm curious because I can relate it to writing. So when I'm writing, I write, and then I know when I'm finished when nothing jumps at me. So I'm curious, your process. When you see somebody, are you like, perfect, you nailed it, your hair is perfect? Or do you know, nope, this is the wrong tone for them immediately? I'm just curious, what do you see? What is your
Well,
process?
basically, I'm very honest because it's not about the business wise. I have to think. I have to win that confidence with the client because I'm doing my best to look best, her best, to look good, to look fresh, to look younger. So my work is very personal. And most of the jobs or the businesses, they take advantage for that reason to advise because they don't know what to do or how to trust the person, the professional. But I prefer to make a nice relationship with the client and to be honest, that's what I'm seeing you. And then when I start to change the image, I start to change it step by step and little by little because psychologically she must trust me and see herself with the new look. It's not about like, boom, suddenly 360% directly it changed. You should go step by step. For example, how I advised you personally, we can go through step by step, changing your haircut and then the color and get better and better. Honestly, I'm seeing you in a different look, but I'm going to tell you later with the time, it's totally different look, but not now. So yeah, it's a part of the process to give the advice and give options. But at the same time, we have to calculate her lifestyle, her age, her job, because I cannot say something like crazy, very edgy haircut for a woman who works in a bank, let's say. It doesn't fit. Even she loves to be very modern. It's not me. I prefer to be honest because at the end, maybe that moment she accepted, but with the time after we do the change, I am guilty. So I have to be honest anyways.
As an expert, when you see people, you're like, yes or no, or yes and needs a change? Or are you like, looks good and could look better? I'm just curious what happens to you.
Always there's something to change. Like for me, always I change something, even if it's something little. Yeah, but I cannot lie and I don't want to take that advantage also, but always there's a yes and there's a no. But it depends the client also. I cannot say no, but I find always a way to say that no, like something more suave. I mean, I have to try to be nice also. I cannot say no, you cannot have that. It's not for you. But I try to find a solution or to find a way to go through no.
Interesting. So you're not a hair tyrant, which I think is a wonderful thing. And I like that mindset of things can always be improved. I love that mindset because I think what I've noticed with my clients in coaching, a lot of people get stuck because they don't recognize the rhythms of life. Like things are constantly changing. People want everything to be so fixed, and that's not how life works. But with this mindset of you can always glow up, there's always something to add. I like that because then it's not, we have to fix this. No, it's part of the process.
Right.
And with our experience, it was really funny. So you came to me as a client, as a coaching client. We started talking. I found out who you were and what you do. And so then I asked you, I'm like, hey, what do you think? And you're like, yeah, we can do things. It was like, oh. And then the funny part is, I think people need to know their limitations. Like, I know my limitation. I don't speak hair. Like, I don't. I'm so low maintenance. I'm not a products person. I'm not going to do things to myself. I'm just not. That's not who I am. And I've made serious mistakes with hair people. Like one of my best friends, she's French Algerian, Asia. I met her because I went to a salon. This was 30 years ago. I went to a salon. I thought I knew what I was talking about. I gave her direction. She did what I told her to do. I don't speak hair. And so she did that. And then I didn't like it. And I was like, oh, she's like, but I did what you asked me to do. So then she's like, look, try to live it. And then if you don't like it, come back. So I came back and I said, I don't know what I'm doing. You do whatever
Right.
you want. And oh my God, it was wonderful. So I went from having the worst stylist to having the best stylist because I tried to micromanage something that I had no clue what I was
Right.
talking about. Every time like I go to anything beauty or something, I'm like, I don't know what anything's called. I don't know the names of things. Don't ask me. Whatever you think. And then do I have preferences? Yes. I prefer it a little longer. I don't want to look older. That's for sure. But I am proud of my age.
Yeah, you should be always proud of your age, proud of yourself. It can help to make it better, your look, let's say, but at the end, there's a reality and there's some basis. Like we have to complete it. Like the gray hair, the people must deal with it. It's okay. But there's some solutions or some ways that we can keep it then maybe to look fade out or better or less coloring. There's a reality. The gray hair will come out every time. We have to deal with it. And fortunately, in this business, in this field, the salons, they love to take advantage. This is part of the business, right? So they never say the correct technically, or you have to come back to do the toner because it's impossible to get this color or whatever. Like it's a technique. With my client, I prefer to build a connection because at the end, I feel like I'm a therapist also with my clients because they fully trust me and I try to give them what I can to the best look. And I think to make a connection, it's nice between the people through the job. That's it. Just be honest with your work. And I think the clientele will come naturally. And if you're talented already, you're proving your results. That's how I met Shakira, let's say. She's very special perfectionist. She's an artist. She's a celebrity. And she tried many hairdressers and colors from all around the world. And I feel so lucky because part of the result that she loves my job, also my attitude, my professionalism. And this is very important, I guess. So it's like a combination between work and who you are.
Yeah, and I love what you're saying, that it's not just your professional talent and skills, it's also who you are as a person and your ability to connect. I think that's a universal phenomenon. And I know that salons are like a safe place for people. There was just like Celo Hernandez, he's in SNL. He's Cuban Dominican. He's really funny. He's a comedian. So he talks about how the men are doing it all wrong, going to the barber shop, because at the salon, he's like a prince. He gets treated like royalty. It's wonderful. And everybody's so happy to see him. And it was really funny. And that reminded me of my mom. She passed in 2010. And at the end of her life, she loved going to the salon. And at that time, I was like, I don't have time for that. I'm in a hurry, whatever. But I saw the community. So even when she didn't have hair, she would still go to say hi to those people because it was her community and they were so happy to see her. It was beautiful. It really opened my eyes about how it's possible. So a lot of time with my clients, we talk about set yourself up for success. And this has to do with your community and also your team. And I think your hairdresser and the such are such an important part of our team. Because then you're right, it's a friendship, it's a therapeutic relationship. And I think it works both ways and it can be quite beautiful. And it's a wonderful thing that stylists can provide, especially when you match up. So like my friend Asia, she doesn't live here anymore, obviously. It's interesting when you have to go through the process of, oh my God, I get to find a new community. And this reminds me of something else. After my mom passed away, one of my friend's mom, Alice, has a salon. And so before I moved back to the beach, I used to go there. And Alice is in her 70s. And I realized, why do I like coming here? And it's because it has that mom energy, that like such sweetness.
Yeah.
So you do that as a solo practitioner, which is pretty awesome. And so when people are looking for a stylist, what are the questions they should ask? What should they be looking for?
It's a very good question, actually, because let's say most of the people, they know what they want, and half of them, they don't know what to do with themselves. The stylist must know, must be talented, must be a very artist, let's say, to change you, to give you the best advice, because most of the people, they know what they want. For example, Shakira, she knows perfectly what she fits on her hair better than everyone. Like this kind of clientele, that's very challenging actually, because whatever you say already she knows. So you have to say something new or something like very impressive for them. And some people don't know what they do. Like I give you all the freedom, do whatever you want, and they don't know if it's good or bad. So it's a bit confusing. So the people who know what they want already, I think that's the best stylist they can find after their questions or what's the best looks or best color on me. Even they know, they are like trying to know something new. So I have no problem with that clientele because they are already expert with their looks. But the people who don't know what to do, I think they must try many just to get other options. Economically, they don't need to pay a lot or to get more options, basically, like more ideas, what they can do before they make a haircut or a very big haircut, totally changing their look. So me, basically, I never do that big change. Always I go step by step. If you ask me to do the haircut, let's say from very long length to the very short, I will go step by step. And then the face shape, it's very important. Let's say we have to study that case if you want to go that big change. If not, I prefer to go step by step.
Interesting. What's very popular right now is understanding your color season. So for example, I'm a warm autumn. And I remember when I found out about this was at a seminar and we had to get into a group and it's give each other good advice. And this older man says to me, "You would look better with makeup." And I was like, it was really funny. And he was like my dad's age. And he was like, "Not too much, like a little." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I listened. And there was somebody else in the group who was a color expert. And she told me, "You don't understand your colors. You're in autumn. Your black is actually brown." And I was like, and then she showed me, she pulled stuff from a magazine and brought it the next day. And she showed me, she's like, "This is your palette." I was like, oh, I had no idea. And I think that's a very useful thing to understand about yourself because, of course, you want to do what's flattering. But I also love people who express themselves. My sister's an artist, and I love artists because they can get away with anything. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things we learn in filmmaking is the principle of contrast and affinity. The more things are alike, the more gentle. The more different they are, the greater intensity. So, of course, in film, we can use this in lots of ways: shape, space, distance, you name it. But this applies to life. So what I love about people like my sister, artists, they can go for intense contrast and it works for them. But what I'm hearing you say is there's people who like specialize in makeovers, right? Something drastic. And then like you understand that it's an ongoing relationship. It's a process. And the more gentle you be and step by step, the easier then the person gets to be more comfortable. So you mentioned your base color is too dark. And because I don't speak hair, I wasn't even paying attention. But after you told me, I saw it and then I couldn't unsee it. So then I was like, we need to move fast.
We have to go lighter, right? I'm telling you, it's very psychological. You see in everything, every day yourself, right? In the mirror. So when you wake up, when you put your makeup, you're seeing your hair every time, actually. So pokes you, you have to do, or if you see the gray hair, you have to cover it. You know what I mean? Some people, they don't care because they don't care. Basically, it's just like that. But some people, they are seen every time. So it's very annoying for them. And really, it's getting stressful. You have to cover it. You have to fix it. You have to manage it. You have to see yourself beautiful. That's why the hair is everything, I think, for the people, for the image wise.
You bring something up really good. I had a whole consultation with somebody about their hair one. And it's okay to be gray. There's nothing wrong with being gray. What you don't want is to appear unkempt. Unless messy is your brand, go for it. I've had a few friends who've gone gray really early in their life. There's all kinds of variables that determine that, hereditary, etc. There's nothing wrong with gray hair. There's a difference between having beautiful gray hair that looks kept and beautiful versus something that looks like a Brillo pad that you don't care. Again, if that's your brand, go for it. But most of us, that is not. And so we have to make some decision about it. And I love what my friend, the other Macarena, she's a therapist, calls them wisdom hairs. She's like, why do we call them gray hairs? These are wisdom hairs. We've earned them.
Well, to accept it like that. And actually, I wanted to tell you about the gray hair. It's not a problem at all. If you accept yourself how you are. I used to have a clientele like that, like totally white. They didn't color their gray hair long years and years, but also this gray hair never come like super white or beautiful or shiny or pearl, these beautiful colors. So you have to make once per, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months, a toner just to give them a shiny, a beautiful, that mix the gray hair with the white and black, because the gray never come up like directly white or directly gray. Always there's some parts of your head, it's processing the gray hair. Also, there's a solution for that. There's a toner, let's say, it mixes all the colors and come like beautiful gray. Also, if you want to leave your gray hair, you have to take care of them. You have to take care with the color, but it's not coloring, how I said. It's toning, giving a toner. That's it. So it comes beautiful. And I used to have, especially in France, in Paris, some old ladies that I was in love with their gray hair because they don't do anything, especially they don't do any color. But I used to do some toner every 2 months and a half. The toner, it just how I said, it gives more intense the gray hair color and it mixed all of it. And it looks very beautiful, very shiny, but it's not monthly or it's not necessarily. It's just like from time to time to give that beautiful curl, that beautiful shiny color, gray color.
Of course, because there's color, then there's the tone, the shine, which is a different thing. And then there's the texture.
There's a permanent, semi-permanent, just toner, just gloss. Yeah, there's many colors. Depends what you need.
In a lot of ways, I see you as alchemist of hair, the chemistry, how to make it look better. I find that fascinating and really cool. So there's always option. And that's why there's specialists that help women transition to
Right.
gray. And I guess includes all of these things. And just like I have a friend who has curly hair and she decided to go gray, she had to go to a curly hair specialist and a gray hair specialist to go through her transition. And she looks fabulous.
But
Looks
she
so
waited, I
good.
guess, like for a long time, the process, because to get out the gray hair, the color, it's a process. So you should be very patient of that and just don't look at it. Just leave it. Or you can have a big change, a haircut. With the haircut also, you can have only your own gray hair and then start to leave it like forever, your gray hair. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of the good things about the pandemic, the reset. A lot of women color their hair. So then I think that's when she
Oh,
went through the
yes.
transition. It had grown out quite a bit and then she got a haircut, but it was like a process and it took a team of people. She looked great like every step of the way. And I think that's what's possible when you work with a professional like you. Yes, it's step by step, but each step looks good, which is great.
I wanted to add something on this topic. Usually we are changing where the new looks or the new color and new haircut, the majority of the people, they do for the society. And some people, they do for their self. I think before you do that change or to do a new look, ask yourself why I'm doing this for myself, for the society, for my husband, for my family to look good, better, younger, but for who? For yourself or for the people, for the society? That's a big question, actually, because at the end, why I'm doing this, for who? For myself or for my family to look younger? It's personal also. I want to look good for my wife, for my husband, to don't look around, or I just want to feel better. I just want to feel good when I look every morning to myself in the mirror. So that's the question, why you're doing this. Me personally, for sure, I'm doing it for myself. Whatever I do. If I do a new look, new haircut, if I leave my beard longer or shorter, always I want to be happy with myself. And then do whatever you want to do. Or for the people, I don't know. I wouldn't do anything for the people. I would do for myself to feel better, to feel confident, to feel good.
No, of course. I think it's really important. You bring up an excellent point. Why? So when I talk to my clients about setting themselves for success, when it comes to appearance, you want to look your best so that you're comfortable. So one of the things we talk about is, let's say your big break happens. And this happened to a friend of mine. She wrote a book called Skinny Bitch, and Victoria Beckham was photographed with her book. Next day, she's on Good
Wow.
Morning America, all
Wow.
the talk shows, like that. So some common themes that people come to me with their sessions is, why isn't my success here right now? Or it feels like it's coming, but it's not here. Use this time to prepare. If you're not expressing your highest success at this moment, you are building towards there. So when it comes to the way you look, I say to people, okay, so let's say your pinnacle is being on the Jimmy Fallon show or whatever. And let's say that happens tomorrow. Are you ready? And if you're not, you want to be. Your hair, right? How you manage your hair, your clothes, how you present yourself, that you feel comfortable expressing yourself. These are all things that has to do with self-expression, I think. It all falls under how you express yourself, and it's important. And if you have time to think about it, I always say luck favors the prepared, then the magic can happen because then you're not going to be self-conscious in that situation.
Yeah, the hair, how I said, it's a big issue. For example, if you work in a TV show, you have to do for yourself and you have to do for the people because you're an example for the people because everybody is watching you. So you should be beautiful. You should look good. But if you're doing for yourself, just for yourself and just to make it feels good, that's a big point also. But still, you have to know what you're doing for yourself. Why and what? Why you're doing for yourself. Don't do something crazy just to make you feel good. It's not about that. So you have to come to me to make that consultation and I give you the best option.
Discover the essence of love in intimacy, a poem of adoration. Let this heartfelt poetry gift series illuminate your path to deeper connection and enrich your bond. Embrace the wonder, wellness, and wisdom that true intimacy brings. Buy yours today at macarenaluzbianchi.com and let love shine brighter than ever before. Also available in Spanish.
No matter what your look is, you want to be what I call camera ready. Oh, because this has happened to me. When I was a marketing director at Whole Foods Market, I used to have a team of people. I used to have a marketing team. And one day I was training people. So I purposely dressed like someone who works in a grocery store on purpose to show my team that, yes, sometimes we have to go to an event, but when we're here, we have to blend in to the people that we work with. So it's not always glamorous. Sometimes you have to wear jeans and a t-shirt and no makeup,
Right.
and that's okay. So I wore that as a teaching point. And that's the day that the Miami Beach city comes and says, oh, today we're taking a picture of you to put in all the buses and the billboards for business recycling. And I had to be like, okay, all right,
Get it.
it's okay. All natural. Let go, let God. It doesn't matter. So anyway, I talk about this with my clients because I want everybody to feel like if you're in that situation, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You can still be present because I think the most important thing is if we feel insecure about the way we look, it can get in the way of us being present. And I think there's nothing more important than that, being able to experience what's going on in front of you. That's where the magic is in the present moment. It's not if you're like self-conscious about whatever. And so comfortable clothes, comfortable shoes, all this stuff I think is super, super important so that when your big break comes, you're ready and you can be yourself.
Also in life, we can confront problems, right? Or bad situations. So I think the image, it helps a lot to move on after a divorce or after surgery or someone you lose from your family or whatever, like that negative problems. So I think the image could help somehow. So it starts from the hair.
It does.
It starts from the new look. It starts from zero to a new step. So I think the image to changing your new look, it helps a lot psychologically to move on or to have a new page, to start a new start. So that's why you should be very comfortable with yourself and happy and to choose the best look on you and be comfortable. Love yourself. It's again, we start the same point, right? You have to love yourself. You have to be comfortable with yourself. If you're doing to yourself or for the people, for the society, just do your best to yourself. Treat yourself good. To respect your body. I think that's very important. When you love yourself, from that point, you're going to start to feel good, actually. Even you don't know what you're doing to yourself, like what you're wearing or which style you're doing yourself, but at least you're happy. So it's very important, I think, to give that chance to yourself and love yourself, basically.
I think you nailed it. I love that. Yeah. So number one, I think it's love yourself. And then when you love yourself, it's easier to accept yourself and then easier to express yourself, which are so, so important. Absolutely.
Right.
And then I'm curious, do you have any examples or any stories where people came to you and they were like feeling blah and then they leave feeling amazing? Does that happen in the majority of the sessions or is there anyone you can think of?
Actually, honestly, I don't like to give big expectations from the beginning. Why? Because I'm not a magician. I prefer to discover the client by herself what's happening. I start to give like step by step. I know that she's gonna see the difference, but I don't like to give her that expectations. So she discovered herself when once I give her the color or the haircut, the best style, and she looks amazing, obviously. And yeah, I had many experiences like that. But how I said, maybe if you give that expectations and she didn't realize, she will get very disappointed and she could hate me. So I don't want to go through that because most of the problems in the salons, that's the way that they give that expectations. You're going to look amazing. I'm going to make you whatever. And then she's not seeing herself. Still, she's like, where? Why? How? Still, I'm waiting. It's not cool. So yeah, I think technically you should tell like 50% you're going to see something different. And maybe the next 50% you're going to look the total new look, let's say. Yeah, of course I had the experiences, but psychologically, this is very important how you're building a relationship with a new client. So you have to go through step by step to get to know how is she, who is she? Because once I meet a new client, always I start to listen to her lifestyle, what she works, not the curiosity. I'm just calculating, studying her life. If she's able to do her style every morning, or she just go with the flow, like she needs something practical, very not complicated haircut or not complicated color because she doesn't have time to do herself every morning or every time. Or step by step, we can get to know each other, how we met each other, me and you. Every time I'm going to give you a new topic or a new advice or a new change, a little change, and you're going to go step by yourself. You're going to manage yourself better than me. So I think that's the real relationship that I'm trying to do with the client. And honestly, my clientele in Spain, we are friends, basically. We became friends actually through work, through this relationship, and it's amazing. And they were very sad when I moved here, but still I'm in touch with them. Obviously, I didn't let them to go somewhere. I gave them the best options, the best persons, all confident, and they're happy, but not happy like before, but at least still I'm taking care of them. So yeah, with your stylist or with your hair colorist, I think you can have a good relationship that you can come friends also, a nice relationship. It's a part of the job or any job. You can start step by step from your work to build nice connection and then good relationship and honest relationship, like not only business wise or taking advantages, because basically this job, it's very taking control, right? So once you start with the color and you do something complicated or something like, let's say, like you're controlling her life actually, because she must come every time. So just make it easy. Don't make it complicated. But meanwhile, you're building a very nice connection with that person, with that client.
So fascinating. What I'm hearing is you have to communicate because your lifestyle has a lot to do with the type of hair and the maintenance and the commitment or frequency and maintenance of what it takes. I'm so low maintenance. It's really crazy. Do the minimal, the least possible so that I don't have to spend any time, because to me, it's the time.
You don't need to worry because already you met me. I'm going to do my best for you. But yeah, very important, I think, to keep it like very easy.
Yes, because some people love getting ready. Somebody was telling me, oh, you should do those morning video. I'm like, yeah, I do my less than a minute gratitude video, but I can't do get ready with me. It takes me less than 5 minutes to get ready. So that's which is really funny. And then I've learned some tricks, like when I sleep, I put my hair in a bun and like a silk scrunchie. And sometimes I wear the bonnet.
Yeah, I know.
So that it lasts. And I go to the gym. I live in Miami. So I work hard to protect the blow dry. And that's the other thing that reminds me, always take advantage of the blow dry. Because sometimes I forget. And whenever you do my hair or I get a blow dry and then it looks so fabulous, it's like, don't waste this. Go out to dinner, go have fun, get your mileage from it every chance you get.
Right. Your case, it's not that much complicated. You have a good hair, actually. You have a good hair, good qualities. Once it works good, so I think it can maintain for many days. But some people, they don't have that haircut, let's say, or that hair quality So it's really complicated. So you have to know, or you have to learn at least how to deal with it, because some people, they cannot afford to go for blow dry weekly, or let's say, or the color even they do by themselves. So at least they can consult once for a while, and then they can maintain by themselves. So how I said, the hair is very important for us to look good. Just choose your professional, and you have to trust. If not, it doesn't work. It's not your job. You have to leave the professional to do their job, and otherwise be cool. Just to learn how to do that, how to deal it, or how to maintain it.
I'm curious, when shaving your hair off completely, does it help for new growth? Does it help fix problem?
You're talking about
Yeah.
women or men, or in general? Yeah,
In
of course.
general.
Definitely. Yeah, the hair
Interesting.
part of our body. And if you treat the hair well, it will grow. It will give you good result. I don't know if you remember how they used to tell us, the princesses, before they sleep, they used to brush the hair. So it really helps to grow. Yeah, because you're treating good your hair, and you're massaging. If you treat your hair well, it will give you good result. If you shave your hair, obviously it grows faster, but it doesn't mean like it will come the best hair quality. It basically will grow up because it's short, like it's growing very fast way, but it's not gonna change the texture of your hair.
Interesting. So my sister and I at one point shaved our heads. Before that, I had dyed my hair every color. I used to cut it myself. I used to go choo. And at this time, I was a filmmaker. And when I wasn't working, I worked as background in other stuff. And one time, I don't remember the movie, but it was a Tom Cruise movie. And I was walking, and they had the trailers with the hair people. And somebody stopped me and said, "You, come here." And I'm like, "What is it?" And he's like, what stylist did this to you? I love it. And I was like, I did it myself. But chocolate, it looked crazy. But he studied it for 15 minutes. It was really hilarious.
I want
So
to see
during
that
that
picture,
phase-
actually. I'm curious to see that haircut.
It was fun. It was fun. Like, seriously, I just took it and I just, it looked crazy, but it looked awesome. It was like really cool. So after coloring it every color possible and having it all kinds of crazy things to it, my sister felt very attached to the hair. So we talked about, like, wouldn't it be liberating just to shave it? So we did. I have a birthmark. So it was really funny. And at the time, we were part of a martial arts group. And then I didn't realize that the teachers also were bald. So we looked like a pack of monks. It was really funny. And then I noticed people would open doors for me. And I was like, oh my God, they think I'm sick or something. So I was like, oh my God. And then when you have hair, that's nothing wrong with your hair, it grows really fast. So we shaved it. And then I think I shaved it 2 or 3 times. And then my brother tells me he's getting married and we're the bridesmaid. So we had to go try on the bridesmaid outfits and we were completely bald. I was like, okay, when is this wedding? In 3 months? I'm like, okay, let's let it grow out. They already think I'm crazy. Like, my family already thinks I'm nuts. So I can't go to the wedding looking like an alien. And then it actually grew out amazing. We had the cutest pixie cut by the time the wedding came. It was phenomenal. Then my mom, when she had cancer, she had to shave her head. And my sister and I were like, we'll do it. We'll do it with you. She was like, in Spanish, no, please promise me you will never do that again.
But it's beautiful from your part to be supportive and to shave it. Feels like you don't care. It's amazing, actually. I think it's a nice attitude from you to shave.
It grows.
Yes, and to don't be scared. The hair can grow, even grow better. And you've been so supportive, and very nice attitude from you. Te felicito. Yeah, it's beautiful. Wish everybody can have that power and that attitude. I had a couple of examples. I had a friend, her mom had cancer as well. So she and her old friends decided to support the mom and become bald. And they shaved their hair in Spain. And actually, there's a movie about that. But actually, in Spain, they're very crazy. They do stuff like that. I love it. So this movie, it's about friends. They get shaved because of the friend, and they are becoming very supportive and very emotional. Actually, it's very nice. The people who has a cancer, they don't need to feel like alone, so the hair can grow again. Yeah, it's amazing. If you shave your hair, can grow faster, but it never changed the texture. Maybe it's stronger and faster, yes, but if you have a curly hair, it's not going to grow straight, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to change the texture, but it was very liberating. It was a wonderful experience. But I promised my mom I wouldn't do it again. And since then, I've been very standard. I've been very vanilla with my hair, just letting it be. By the way, we have some questions. We have some questions from some listeners. Okay, so here's a question. What do you recommend for hair care for men? Men who are afraid of going bald.
First of all, they must know if it's genetically or if it's stress, if it's from the stress, from the work, from the problems in life. Personally, I had problems falling my hair a lot, but mine was just from the stress and anxiety. And what does it mean? If it's not genetic, they can recover perfectly. And what I advise, basically cut your hair short as much as possible and don't stress and sleep well. All it helps. How I said, the hair is a part of our body. If you're having problems, anxieties, and nervous system, it's all connected with your hair in your body. So it will fall down. It will have problems also. So what I advise is there's no specific products for me. It's just your mind peaceful. You should be very aware. If you don't love yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, you can lose your hair. But if it's genetically, you have to take care of it by vitamins or through medicine.
The great news about if people are suffering from baldness now, there's so many treatments and there's so many genetic things. I remember somebody in grad school, I had a friend who suffered from alopecia and she was going bald. And I remember she did some treatments and some implants. So I think if you don't want to be bald, now is a good time in history to do this because there's options. Whereas before, I don't know, there weren't any options. So very important to take care of yourself, take care of your mindset, manage your stress. Super important. Are there any products you recommend or you swear by?
I'm going to tell you a shampoo. It sounds like crazy, but it works very well. It's a horse shampoo. Yes.
For real?
Horse. Because there's a lot of biotin in this shampoo and they wash the horse with the shampoo. So it really helps for the human's hair grow better.
Awesome. And I know you recommended a Japanese one.
The Japanese one is very professional. I love it. And I worked with it for a long time. It's not like 100% organic. It's not about that. It's professional. It's nice product. Let me tell you something. For the hair who always colored and make processes, it's not natural. It's not a teenager hair who it's virgin, blah, blah, blah. The organic shampoos and organic products never gonna work on it because it needs professional shampoo for the color hair. Yeah, it's a reality that I cannot say no, must be organic, must be natural, must be never gonna work for the color, for that damaged hair, right? That's my opinion. And there's some people, they say, no, it must be everything natural and organic for everything. Yeah, but you're not gonna have that good result. You're not going to have that good professional result because it's not natural, the hair anymore. The hair have color, has, I don't know, maybe keratin or problems or even the age. With your age, you cannot have organic or natural vegan shampoo. It's not going to work like that. The men cases is different. So if you're having falling hair or if it's very weak, the horse shampoo will help a lot. Because there's a lot of biotin. Me personally, I used it and I advise it for many clientele. She has a very thin hair, very weak hair. It works perfectly. And also they were taking the vitamins, the biotin vitamins. It helps a lot for your hair. That's what I would advise them.
Okay, biotin vitamins. I know a pro tip. I had friends in New York who had salons and they had told me, because I'm like, I want something natural. And they swore by Suave. They said for over the counter, for drugstore, the best thing you could buy in the drugstore for your hair is this. It's called Suave. So I'll put a link to it for people who want something simple and cheap, which is wonderful. Sometimes you need that. Question. Can we talk about styling for a moment at home? Does the hairdryer really matter? Is there a difference between a cheap curling iron and a super expensive one? What are the things people need to look for when buying accessories to do it at home?
Obviously, if it's very expensive, it's for a reason. But me personally, if it's a good material for a hair dryer or a hair iron, it should be obviously not very cheap, not very expensive, something like good. Yeah.
Mid-rate. So is it true that sleeping with braids will give you curly hair?
I can give you a tip to make it like wavy. Those wavy hair, like very popular now in every TikToks and every videos and everything.
These waves?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
this?
People, especially the young girls, they do that and it really works. So when your hair is clean and wet, you can make braids, like braids over your hair and sleep with it or for a couple of hours and they get dry, right? And then you take it out and it gives the curls. Wait, beach
Beach
waves. Yeah,
waves.
beach waves. Not curls, but beach waves. And it gives, yeah. This is especially for the very, very straight hair, right? So it gives a nice shape. So it's a trick, a little tip. Yeah.
Love the pro tips. What other pro tips can you share with us? Do you have any tips and tricks for volume?
The classic one with the rolls. Yeah, the rolls. When you put your rolls and you leave it for all the day for a volume, let's say, it helps a lot from the roots volume. It boosts a lot the rolls.
Do you have a favorite comb or favorite hairbrush, material-wise?
I like the Japanese one. I don't remember the name right now, but it's Japanese. It's complicated actually. It's a bit expensive also, but it brushes very well. Like it's double brushy when you brush your hair. So automatically it gives a shape
Cool.
and it hydrates a lot actually.
Oh, wow. I want to get this brush.
You have to know how to use it actually.
How did you know you wanted to be a hairstylist?
I always loved the art, painting, colors. I used to paint when I was a kid. My mom, she sent me to an academy and I love the colors, the tonalizaciones, the toners, the color tones. I love that artistic painting, stuff like that. I discovered myself when I wanted to be a hairdresser.
Thank you so much, Asbéd. I so appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today. It's always a pleasure, and thank you.
So happy to be here with you and with your beautiful listeners. It's my honor and pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Thank you.
I want to thank our sponsors, Spark Social Press, my publisher, for supporting our show and their commitment to spreading joy and empowerment through their magical books. Spark Social Press believes in the power of mindset and the magic of self-expression. Our enchanting children's book series, The Grateful Giraffes, teaches little ones the importance of gratitude and positive thinking by expressing themselves thoughtfully and tenderly, and with illustrations of their delightful adventures and heartwarming lessons. Spark Social Press offers gift books for grown-ups for every occasion, helping you express the perfect words to make your loved ones and colleagues feel seen and treasured with these lighthearted poetry picture books. At Spark Social Press, we believe everyone is glorious and deserves to be fulfilled with more wonder, wellness, and wisdom. That's why our books are designed to spark creativity, uplift spirits, and empower readers of all ages. To discover the joy of self-expression and spread more wonder in your life, visit sparksocialpress.com today. Together with Spark Social Press, let's embrace the magic of mindset one book at a time. Once again, a big thank you to Spark Social Press for sponsoring the show and for bringing more wonder, wellness, and wisdom into the world through our thoughtful and inspiring books. Wow, what a journey we've been on together. I hope this episode has left you feeling inspired, empowered, and ready to embrace the magic in your life. I'd love to hear about your experiences and insights. Please tag me on social media using the hashtag Magical Mindset Podcast, or leave me a DM to share your wins, challenges, and aha moments. Let's keep the conversation and the magic flowing beyond this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being a part of this magical community. Until next time, keep shining your light and embracing the wonder of each day. You've got this.